In this video, we are going to be solving one of the SQL injection challenges, which is the simple SQL injection. SQL stands for Structured Query Language and is the language websites use to communicate with databases and retrieve information like users, products, or passwords. SQL injection happens when a website does not properly filter user input, allowing an attacker to insert SQL commands into a form or search box. This can trick the database into running unintended queries. As a result, attackers may be able to bypass logins, access sensitive data, or extract information from the database. The goal of this lab is to exploit a vulnerable product search feature and extract sensitive information from the database. Normally, this search box should only return products from the database, but because the application does not properly sanitize user input, we can manipulate the SQL query that the server sends to the database. Now, let's start by understanding how the search feature probably works. So when a normal user searches for something like laptop, the website likely runs a database query like this. In simple terms, the database is being asked, show me the product where the name is laptop. But the problem is that the website trusts whatever the user types into the search box. That means if we type something that looks like SQL code, the database might execute it. So the first thing we want to do is to test whether the search box is vulnerable to SQL injection. If we look here in the hints for the lab, we've been given a point here to try searching for this. I'll copy this and paste it here. Now what this payload does is it closes the original quotation mark in the SQL query and then adds a logical condition. So instead of the database running something like where name equals laptop, the query becomes something like where name is equal to the empty quote or 1 equals 1. The expression 1 equals 1 is always true. That means the condition becomes show products where the name is empty or where 1 is equal to 1. Now, since 1 equals 1 is always true, the database returns every row in the table. So when we press search, as we can see in the results, all the products are displayed. So this confirms that the application is vulnerable to SQL injection. Now that we know that injection works, the next goal is to extract data from other tables in the database. If we look here in the hints, we are told to look for admin credentials and secret flags. We're also told that the database contains product users, secrets, and secrets tables. Right now, the page is only displaying data from the products table, but we want to force the database to also show information from the users table. And to do that, we use something called a union query. The SQL union operator combines the results of two different select queries into a single result. So if the application normally runs a query like select columns from products, we can inject another query that selects data from another table. So let's try this first command. I'll copy this and I'll paste it here. When we run this, we get an error. The error says that the select statements on both sides of the union do not have the same number of columns. This is actually a very helpful message because it tells us that if we look at the results table on the page, we can see the columns being displayed. That means the original query returns 6 columns. And when we use union, our injected query must also return 6 columns. But right now, our payload only returns 4 columns, which are username, password, email, and role. So we need to add two more columns. And we can do this by adding null values, which are basically empty placeholders. So let's modify the payload like this. So here, like this. Now our injected query also returns 6 columns. When we press search, now our injected query also returns 6 columns. And this matches the original query. The product results still appear at the top, but underneath them, we now see rows that contain usernames, passwords, email addresses, and roles. That means we have successfully extracted user credentials from the database. The lab also mentioned a table called secrets. So let's try to extract data from that table as well. I'll copy this command, the second union command here, and paste it here. Now, we have to make sure the query returns 6 columns. So we fill the remaining columns with null. We already have 2, but that makes 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need 2 more null columns. And now when we run the search, the results include information from the secret table, like the API key, an API key, database admin credentials, and the flag for the challenge. Remember in the hint, it said to look for admin credentials and secret flags. So we were able to find the flag. So to summarize the process we followed, first, we tested whether the input field was vulnerable using a simple condition that is always true. And then we analyzed the structure of the database query by looking at the columns in the results. Next, we use the SQL union operator to combine the original query with a new query that pulled data from other tables. And finally, we extracted sensitive information from the users and secrets tables. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.